This is Dan's Reviews, and now it's time to talk about Season 2 of the Dexter series. You know, I've learned and appreciated a lot of things when watching this show. One of the most important things now is cucumber sandwiches. Cucumber sandwiches are great to have at 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
When you're stressed out of your mind,
so it is.
Sometimes you just have to sit down and have a real cold cucumber sandwich. But the most important thing going forward, sometimes you never know. The Bay Harbor Butcher might just be right in front of you. Now this is Dexter Season 2. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review for today, this one's going to be doing a review for Dexter, this one's going to be doing my next review for Dexter, the seasonal reviews. This is for Season 2. So, doing a binge of this show right now with a few buddies of mine. Now we're going to cover Season 2. I am kind of reviewing this show kind of, whenever I'm able to, of course, whenever we kind of have the free time. So we're going to be continuing on with this. Dexter Original Sin, guys, airs this evening, of course, so make sure to check that out. We're going to be reviewing the episode starting tomorrow, of course, for Dexter Original Sin, so stay tuned for that on the channel as well, too, while we also progressively go back and review all the seasons of the show to have coverage on the channel as well, too. So, yeah, a lot of Dexter content, in other words, coming your way, so I hope you guys are enjoying all that. But now let's talk about this season, because, oh my god, Season 2 is insane. Season 2 is even crazier than Season 1. Season 2 just took it up a level that I just can't even get over, honestly. 2 is so insane. The main plot of this season, which is already a brilliant concept, we have a Bay Harbor Butcher storyline where they are trying to catch the Bay Harbor Butcher, but the Bay Harbor Butcher is Dexter. So this season, Dexter is forced to investigate himself, which is such an interesting storyline. We get to see Dexter this season having to blend in and act like he's not what he is, which he already did in Season 1, but now he's the center of attention. His kills are the center of attention. His daily activities as a killer is the center of attention. He has to watch every fucking footstep that he takes, and that is what makes this season so interesting. I was already gripped by that concept. I was like, holy shit, like, yes, let's go. Now, on top of all that, you've got, of course, the ramifications of what he did to his brother, kind of still messing with him and stuff like that. He's not really doing so well. And Rita kind of catches on to things. So this season, he goes through therapy for his drug use, which he does to cover up what he really is. And Rita offers to help him out in the best way that she possibly can. But here's the problem. When he goes to therapy, and it takes him a while to even open up at all, but when he finally does, we meet a character named Layla. Oh my god, or Lila, sorry. Her character is one of the craziest characters I've ever seen, man. She's insane. She manipulates the hell out of him. She is his sponsor through this whole thing, quote unquote. Rita catches on to this shit right away, too. Rita's like, who the hell is that? Like, and, instantly she's like, okay, like, what is this gonna all be like? And Rita, is absolutely right to question her. This chick is insane. They go through kind of a friendship. You see that she's kind of she has a sick, weird, twisted mind. She's fascinated by blood. She, loves every little thing that Dexter does. She's obsessed with him. Like, she's crazy, fangirl type shit. She steals. She does all this stuff. She breaks the law, all this other stuff. And then randomly, as if she couldn't get more screwed up, one day, Dexter doesn't answer a simple fucking phone call that she does. So she tries to burn down her own apartment just to get his fucking attention. This chick is insane, man. She's insane. And on top of this, Dexter is fully falling for her. He fully is just all in. Rita realizes it and breaks up with Dexter. So you actually get a split between them this season, which I completely understand Rita's perspective. I mean, honestly, why the hell wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Rita breaking up with Dexter makes sense, and Lila as a character, she progressively turned into this psycho villain, and it was just crazy to see it unravel. And it's one of the greatest villain stories I've seen because it literally gets it gets screwed up. Like, it messes with his relationship, it messes with his mind, it literally morphs him into a person that you can kind of tell he doesn't want to be, but in a weird, sick, twisted way, she kind of sees him for what he is. Very, very interesting storyline. Very interesting. But we'll get to, the fallout of that later. Now, to discuss a few other storylines that we have this season, we have Dokes, who is gunning it for Dexter. Like, he is on his ass. He is trying to get to him no matter what the case may be. Even so much to where he gets laid off of work because of how obsessed he gets when he tackles Dexter in the fucking office. And when everybody sees that, they're like, yo, Dokes, you're out, bud. Like, you are out. Like, no, what the hell? So I thought that was insane. Dokes as a character, which I'd love to highlight this season, was just one of the best characters. He was so good. I loved his storyline. I loved the one where he's on the boat and he has to shoot that one guy that, of course, killed his wife. And he gives him two options, jail or death, and he chose death. So there you go. He had to shoot him. He had to kill him. Yeah, Dokes was fantastic. I really liked what they did with him. And I like that even though he starts to look like the crazy one because of how obsessed he is with Dexter, he's not wrong about Dexter. You know what I'm saying? Now, you want to also talk about a villain, quote unquote, that is super layered. Dokes, because in the perspective of this show with Dexter, he is a villain. But he's 100% right about every little thing about Dexter. At first, he thinks that he caught him in the lie because he's a drug addict. Not the case. He finds out that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and when you get that confrontation between them, when he finds them stashing bodies away on that boat, and he's like, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher, and you get that fight with them in the water and stuff, and he ends up locking him up. Holy shit, man. This is probably my favorite stuff of the season right here. When he has Dokes locked up, and it gets so insane that Dokes breaks out the first time. He breaks out of this cell. But not before these guys capture him, these cartel guys or whatever. They capture him, they bring him back or whatever, and next thing you know, you have Dexter that is forced to actually kind of help Dokes out. They actually have to kind of team up to take down these guys. And a second later, points a gun towards him and puts him right back in the cell. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Now, some of the craziest things happened this season with Dexter as well, too. We had, of course, finding out about Harry, the fact that he killed himself. His dad actually ended up killing himself, which we revealed this season. That threw me through a loop completely. The code that he's lived by is absolute bullshit. It's absolute just bogus. It's ridiculous. So at that point, I mean, he doesn't know what to do. Does he kill Dokes? Does he become that man? Does he go against the code? Or does he keep the code because it's something for himself that he needs to keep himself in check? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of angles to it, for sure. And there's a few other storylines this season. Deb has a very interesting one. She hooks up with this guy named Gabriel for a little bit. It kind of doesn't really go anywhere. She kind of ends up, dumping him and stuff like that. Still kind of trying to recover after Rudy last season. She's kind of skeptical of him and stuff like that. But Deb ends up hooking up with a character that I would say stole the fucking show this season. He was incredible. And I'm talking about Agent Lundy, Ted Lundy. Holy shit, man. If you don't know, Keith Carradine plays him, which is a fantastic actor. He's amazing. And this role is incredible. Ted Lundy is, to me, the best character this season without Dexter being involved. He's incredible. I loved how he just reads people. He just knows what you're thinking before you think it. He's very good at his job. He's got a good few scenes. And I mean, how can't you also not love when it's 1 o'clock? When it's 1 o'clock, you have to stop and eat lunch, no matter where you are. It's 1 o'clock. All right, take all the shit off and just, sit there and chill for an hour. You know what I'm saying? He's wholesome as well, too, this cucumber sandwich and shit, and his feet in the water and shit like that. He's awesome, man. And he hooks up with Deb in this one, which, you know, there's a massive age difference, but age don't matter, you know what I'm saying? You find someone you love, you find someone you love, right? And I actually really like their duo. Their duo is fantastic this season. It's great. He's here the entire season, basically. He does leave at the end to go, you know, on another case when everything kind of gets resolved and stuff, which, let's talk about that now, shall we? The way this season ends. So, Dexter makes it right with Rita. Rita is a saint. I love Rita. I don't know how she puts up with him. Really, I honestly don't. But you got Lila that now is getting really involved with Batista. She made it seem like he fucking raped her because she's psycho just to get to Dexter because Dexter wouldn't return her call. She's fucking psycho. You got her that, of course, follows Dexter's footprints and stuff and finds the cabin that Dokes is locked up in. She sees Dokes there. Dokes is like, can you let me out? She's like, oh, yeah, sure. And then she finds out that Dexter's the one that put Dokes behind those bars, and she's like, man, I'm going to kill you instead. So she lights the place on fire, lets the water run, leaves him there, and unfortunately, Dokes, as he tries to get out, he doesn't have enough time, and Dokes dies. Wow. What a fantastic character. He was a great character. I was shocked by the way that how good he was. But that death was insane. So Dokes is dead, and now, of course, the Bay Harbor Butcher can lay easy with him now, because all the body parts are in there, too, and, you know, it's all going to add up to the fact that Dokes was the Bay Harbor Butcher. So Dexter's clean, and he's clear now. But there's one problem left. What are you going to do with Lila? Well, that's what we deal with. Lila ends up... Oh, my God. She ends up still clinging on to Dexter. Dexter has a plan to kill her. Unfortunately, Deb kind of messes it up when she goes into the apartment. She's like, I'm making sure you're leaving, you know? She's like, yep, I'm leaving, you know? And Lila almost gets away. She almost does. But Dexter tracks her down in France, of all places, and kills her. Does it quick, does it good, and Lila's dead. Lila is one of the greatest villains I've seen in a long time. The way that, like, I was, like, cheering for her death. Like, I was fucking like, yes, please to God, kill her. She was intimidating, messing all the time, got to everyone. Like, everybody had an impact with this character. She just manipulated Dexter like crazy. She's insane. And she got Dokes killed on top of everything else. Insane character. Absolutely insane character. I can't believe the shit that they made her do. The actress did a great job, though. Ted Lundy, Lila, and Dokes is why this season's so goated. This season's phenomenal for that. Yeah, I love this season. I love this season so much. This season is one of my all-time favorite TV seasons I've watched. This is such a good season. Such a good show in general. Definitely check it out if you ain't seen it. It's an old show, but it's so good. But anyway, we'll be back with the other 6 seasons. We got 6 more to review, and then also New Blood. Dexter Original Sin reviews start up tomorrow, so stay tuned. We're going to be reviewing that week to week, so stay tuned for that on the channel as well, too. Hopefully you guys enjoy all the Dexter content coming your way, and that's that, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button to not miss any of the videos for Dexter. Be sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys very soon for videos for Dexter. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.